Why are we doing this pod?
I am here for fame and fortune.
Yeah, and this pod is doing that for sure. Okay, question answered. We're gonna be doing it.
No problem.
Yeah. I don't really know if the pod as it currently is where my goals align.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Wow, this is a big moment for us.
Oh no.
If you're listening to this, you are part of the sort of grassroots,
Real grassroots. If you're still listening
movement
to this.
of our Yenta base. And this is, I guess, is an opportunity for us to ask you as a community, like,
Do you really care if we stop?
yeah.
It was a housewarming. 150 people. There was a belly dancer with fire and a snake. I was like, did I get transported back to Egypt in the 12th century?
Where did they get the snake?
I don't know. It was a full, huge snake. My dad was there, and that's what I was just talking to my dad on the phone about.
Wait, so when he said I didn't like the dancer,
Yes.
that was the belly dancer.
The belly dancer.
'Cause I walked in to hear your dad say, I didn't like the dancer.
Yeah. He was just like so he was in culture shock.
Yeah,
by
literally.
the whole thing. And it is a very interesting debate because in my head I'm like, this is sexist. Like, I don't like girls dancing for people's pleasure.
Yeah, it's weird.
In like scantily clad outfits. You know, I mean, whatever. We can have an argument about it, but it was like, and then this person was like, you know, it's cultural. It's not a sexist gendered thing. It's like, it's not a sexualized thing. It's just like an art. Like, it's a craft that this woman is doing. But it also is like all the like young boys are seeing this and they're not like, oh, this is a craft.
Yeah, they're not like, wow, this is a really nuanced take on gender in our culture.
Yeah. No, they're like, oh, titties, you know?
Yeah.
Like, huh. It's so... Yeah, I didn't really like it either, to be honest.
God, I feel like so many things are just like, yeah, you're just like, yes to all of it. This is a cultural art.
Yeah.
Yep. This is,
and also
like, there is a scantily dressed woman titillating all the men in the room.
Yeah.
Yep. It's maybe like a really empowering, beautiful experience for the dancer. Maybe.
Right.
Sure. And it makes some people feel really great and some people feel really weird.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yes to all of that.
Right. We can hold multiple truths at once. But it is really rare that me and my dad agree on something related to like gender. So that was nice because he was just like, I can't believe it. But also
feminism.
I know, he's such a feminist. Sure. Welcome to Yenta, everybody.
Welcome to Yenta.
Yenta's only podcast that's sometimes about comedy, sometimes about Judaism, and always about gossip. I'm exhausted also today because that party ended at like 2.
Oh my
And then
God.
I woke up at like 8, 7.
Why did you get up so early?
It just, the light was too bright. Then I woke up and then I tried to go back to sleep. And I had to use like my pants as like an eye mask. I'm very sensitive to light.
I noticed when we were at that retreat that you
I had an eye mask. I know. I will wake up early from light unless yeah. So I have to like have it dark. But yeah, what are we gonna talk about today on the Yenta's Only?
Okay, let's do the top. I pick a topic, you pick a topic, I pick a topic.
Yes.
Okay. First order of business, it's almost the high holidays.
Yes, Rosh Hashanah's coming up.
Rosh, Yom,
huge, Sukkot,
Suk.
What are your
Sim.
plans?
Okay. Well, I know that I have to go to Ikar at least one day on Yom Kippur.
Oh, okay.
Because they're calling up the tribe people.
Oh, they're gonna get an honor. An honor.
And also, the last 2 Shabbases, they've like, You know, I was like trying to lead the like e-car please be more friendly committee.
Yes. Yeah, the tribe one or just the general one?
The general one.
Okay.
They finally started enacting that.
Nice.
And so
Ignore that.
Ray almost threw up.
Well,
and so that means I have to actually show up on Shabbos. And
on
then,
Shabbos or Yom Kippur?
No, on Shabbos. And for the last 2 weekends, I've actually been showing up for the first time in months.
Oh, that's so nice.
Being a designated friendly person.
That's, yeah. It was your idea. Now you have to go.
Fuck. And so I feel like it would be good form for me to be a designated friendly person on the holidays, but also like, who really cares? And I can't stand going to e-car on the high holidays because there are too many people.
Oh, yeah.
It's
not what I thought.
Many
you were
thousands.
Say. Yeah, I believe you. Yeah.
It's just
and nobody really cares.
And no one really cares.
They're all just kind of there to like
I was
say
kind of
that they went.
Exactly. I was more thinking of going to the Happy Minion.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Right,
My dad's gonna cut this and then use it in his promotional material. Did I ever show you that he like randomly he randomly takes videos of people talking about how much they love the Happy Minion, and then just like sends them to me and everybody he knows. But he never cuts it together for like marketing material. He just puts them in a WhatsApp group.
Oh my god.
So Dad,
yeah, we'll send him the clip.
We'll send him the clip of the Happy Minion.
Maybe
we'll get a sponsor.
Sponsored by the Happy Minion. The Queer Judaism podcast. Sponsored by the Happy Minion. That would be
the Orthodox Synagogue.
God, they would be the perfect sponsor for us.
Sponsor. Yeah.
Also, you know what I was thinking of doing is seeing future Yentas, Marnina and Micah, they're leading music at the Silver Lake JCC.
That's huge.
Which we need to ask them about.
Yes, we will talk to them in a few weeks.
Because that's how time works. Because it's almost Rosh
Hashanah.
But we still have a few weeks before.
Right. They come on the podcast. Yep. Great. Yeah, whatever. Well, that'll make sense.
That'll make sense to everyone.
Yeah. We'll ask them how was leading Rosh Hashanah.
What are
my plans? Okay, so this is very last minute as my family is, but my mother is coming for Rosh Hashanah. And she's going to be staying not with me. Well, she'll be staying with me like after the actual Chag, but she is she's going to be here. So
oh my god.
Yeah, also before you came I was like navigating mom dad
oh my god,
it's gonna be so fun.
Where is she gonna go to shul?
She is probably gonna go to the Happy Minion and or Stiebel.
Oh yeah, I want to go to Stiebel. Thinking about Stiebel.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably Stiebel. I think is gonna be my main squeeze.
Oh, I love that
game.
You want to coordinate?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I love that idea.
Great, because I need someone there to just talk some shit with.
I love that.
Okay.
For both?
For
everything.
For every service I go to, I need someone sitting next to me who I can talk some shit with.
Amazing. It'll be me, you, my mother.
Is she going to walk all the way to Stiebel or will she drive?
She'll only walk. Yeah. So she's going to stay in Pico. At a friend's in Pico.
Okay.
And I'll drive.
Great.
Yeah.
Speaking of driving, the morning of Rosh Hashanah, I'm taking my driving test.
Oh no! Wait, like before the Chag
before Erev? Yeah.
Oh, Erev. Oh, okay. Not on Rosh
Hashanah.
So from.
What's your relationship to Rosh Hashanah? Because mine is like,
good question.
It sucks. Yeah. My relationship to the high holidays is just like the leftover, the tiny bit of religious trauma I sustained. And it's so minuscule, but it's entirely on the high holidays. I didn't know you
had any of them.
I know. And it's just the experience. The only like thing I interacted with was the high holidays.
Right.
And it was just this torture session
of where you have to sit in shul,
being dragged to this place that sucked, wearing uncomfortable clothing, doing uncomfortable things, sitting longer than I wanted to, then I have to stand.
Saying words that you don't know.
Saying words that I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's basically like going to a like, when you don't know any of the words, it's like going to, I don't know.
What
is it? Like
speak in tongues at a church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And so I like have just never figured out how to really get on board with the high holidays.
I guess same. Yeah. No, I like haven't. I think if I was doing it like, if I cared more, I would have liked to spend more time reading, learning. I don't know, like something about how to make it feel right for me.
Yeah.
And I think you really need to have that prep. When I have had like nice, meaningful Rosh Hashanahs, it's because there's been mental, emotional prep.
Yes.
Of like, this is what it means to me. This is why it's important.
Yeah.
And it's usually around, new, whatever. Everyone can have meaning in a new year and new intentions and blah, blah, blah. I never connect with the, you have to repent. Or,
oh my God.
Or you're going to die. That's so intense. Did you have that in your services?
Yes.
Like God decides who's going to die this year.
And
who's going to die by fire and by blood.
yes.
And God loves you.
And God loves you.
But he's going to kill you.
And isn't this the best holiday?
Yeah.
But you're going to burn.
It's so intense.
It's so intense. And it's so laughable, especially in Reform Judaism.
Yeah.
Because they're like, God's going to see if you're worthy.
Yeah.
If you're a worthy Jew. Anyway, see you next year.
Yeah.
Like, it's
just because of this one time that you go to shul, synagogue. Yeah, it is a really intense holiday.
The only times that I've like really connected with it were when I was going to Chabad in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Because I mean that was just the peak of my Jewish life.
Right.
I miss them so much. Like the Rebbitzin, Rahi, shout out.
Yeah. She's a huge listener.
Huge listener.
Sure.
She might listen every so often. She definitely sees our clips.
Wow.
And she is just such a good teacher. And her husband is so good. He's got this great book about Elul called Reclaiming the Self.
Beautiful.
I'll lend it to you if you want. It's really good. And they just really know how to prep you and take you through the high holidays.
Right. I don't have anyone like that here.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. And
but I could easily find it. Like there were so many of these things. You know what I really want to try going to? Hadar.
Yeah.
Hadar, LA.
Yeah. But
have you been?
How much are they doing? Well, I mean, I like ran a song circle for them.
Oh, how was?
Amazing.
Great. Yeah.
Amazing. And I love David Kasher's teaching.
Great. Oh yeah, he was at your Shabbat.
Yeah, he's at my Shabbat. And he's a really good teacher. He's a really good like theoretical teacher.
Mm.
And I've never really connected with him on the sort of like spiritual level.
Right.
But
there's other teachers there too. Right?
Are there? No,
Isn't
I think
it
it's
an
just
institution?
him.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Isn't it?
No, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the Hadar in New York is like they have a ton
big.
of teachers. Yeah, I guess maybe they just have one. I don't know.
Or at least they'll definitely will have a bunch of teachers eventually. But as it starts out, it was just him, but maybe he's gotten more.
Right. It's probably maybe a bit too late to like find a teacher before Rosh Hashanah now.
but we're looking for one.
But we're looking for one. Listeners, write in.
And I know I've talked about this on the pod before, but like the big thing for me now at the high holidays is that my yearly song cycle comes to an end.
What do you mean?
Wait, have I talked about this on the pod before?
No.
I have. No, maybe?
Song cycle.
Where I start my mantra song. I do my instructional song for the year.
That's huge.
So now we're less than a week out from being able to start a new song.
What is your song?
I can't. I'm not going to sing it for you until Rosh Hashanah and the new song.
You did sing one after the Sammy Cohen podcast.
Yeah.
Which was last year around Rosh Hashanah time.
Yes.
Because we were talking about that. And I was saying my intention for this year was to just, we should go and watch that back. But like something about not being afraid and just like being braver, which
was what my song was
what your
about.
Song was.
Here, I'll sing a clip.
Oh, great. Everyone's on their edge of their toes.
Okay, there's part of it is a nigun that goes I and the fear part starts going, oh yeah, soften me up.
I know this one.
Yeah. Spin me like glass and melt me back down.
Wow, bravo.
Thank you.
Antonia got her singing moment on the pod, everybody. This is the first, I think this is the first song that you've done.
Oh, God,
we should just have it be a musical podcast.
We really should.
Just sing the whole
should just
hour.
Stop talking.
Yeah.
But more like I should sing. You can just sort of watch.
Yeah, I'm just the audience.
Yeah. But that was my mantra song, and it's such a bop that it really worked.
Oh, good.
So
I don't know if I really felt less fear this year.
Maybe you needed to turn it into a song.
Maybe that's my problem. And sing it on the pod.
Yeah.
So
think about doing that for next year.
Yeah.
Pod listeners, please, can just one of you write a New Year's song so that then a year from now you can also have a New Year's song and you can sing your New Year's song.
Yeah.
Because I want more people to do this, and then we can all share our
New Year's songs the year after.
Yeah.
I have to go back in my journals and see what the fuck I was thinking last year. That's a good thing to do. But that could be a good transit. Or is there anything else you want to say on Rosh Hashanah?
Nah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I don't really have. Do you have intentions for this year, or
no?
We haven't thought about it yet.
I haven't thought about it yet.
Me neither, but I'm really going to now. After this pod.
Okay, great.
But talking about how we were doing this pod last year around Rosh Hashanah, we are talking about whether are we gonna have a pod next year?
Yeah.
I don't know. We are talking about in a way that's like why are we doing this pod? In a way that we should be really talking about everything in our lives, like that we don't need to be doing it just by default. Like what do we do? Why are we here?
I am here for fame and fortune.
Yeah, and this pod is doing that for sure. Okay, question answered. We're gonna be doing it.
No problem. Yeah. And truly everything artistic that I do in my life it's successful when it's a mix of fame and fortune plus doing good for the world.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing great stuff for the world. My God, we're really saving the Jewish people.
Totally. They love us.
Yeah.
Jews.
But the fame and fortune is not coming.
Not happening.
And we could be putting more effort into the fame and fortune.
Right.
But also, I'd love us to be able to put in this much effort and have the fame and fortune.
I mean, we put in effort while we're shooting.
Yes.
Kind of.
We're top of our game.
Years planning this pod. But I mean, I think I'll say my original goal for for a podcast was to schmooze it up with other comedians.
Yes. And
then we kind of started getting more feedback from people, and this was any comedian, right? Like I just wanted an opportunity to talk to comedians in LA that I wouldn't be able to talk to without a podcast.
Yes.
Or people are more likely to talk to you with a podcast.
So true.
And
Jay Jordan
never
speak to us.
He spoke to us for an hour and a half because we have these shitty cameras recording. Anyway, then it became this very queer, very Jewish podcast.
Yeah.
Which has been nice because we've been getting good feedback from people in the community that they really like it, but not enough to get any we love you,
growing.
But it's not really growing.
We've got the one, the 6,000 queer from Jews of America,
right? They love it,
all listening,
but they don't pay us, which I get. It's not, you don't have to, whatever. Patreon.com/Yenta. Right now we're at $46 a month,
huge,
which is huge,
big money.
But that doesn't even. We're still losing money on the cost of editing and the soft whatever. So so yeah, I don't really know if the pod as it currently is where my goals align.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Wow, this is a big moment for us.
Oh no. We have to have two. I mean,
like, I think that my goals are I'm more excited about making something for the queer Jewish community, and I love that. But where it's not aligning with my goals is the amount of effort it's taking,
right?
And the lack of glory.
Yeah,
I need a lot more glory
to work for very little /
zero.
Negative money.
Yeah, for negative money.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh my God.
But I don't know what. But on the other side, like I love recording with you. I love it. Like the actual shooting, right? Like recording, hanging out, doing the podcast.
Check.
So fun. It's just
it's the being producers of it.
Yeah.
That sucks. If we had a producer who would come on and produce everything and pay us
for free.
Yeah, not just for free, but actually would pay us.
To pay us.
Yeah, they would pay us.
Yeah.
Then it would be a no-brainer.
If we could just roll into a podcast studio, shoot, and then it would be out.
Yep.
That would be ideal, but we're not at that place unless somebody in the 4 of you listening knows someone or it wants to be that person.
Yeah.
It's just
and maybe there is like a queer Jew out there who does want to become our benefactor.
Yeah.
If you know them,
please help us out.
Because help us connect with them.
Yeah.
Because this is
maybe we should talk to Shua.
Maybe he's got a benefactor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, maybe he could connect us with someone actually. Okay, great. Bookmarking. Wow, you're really in the middle of a production meeting, Yenta listeners.
Yeah. Well, I think it is important to be honest with everybody about like where we're at.
Especially because like if you're listening to this, you are part of the sort of
real grassroots. If you're still listening
movement
to this.
Of our Yenta base. And this is, I guess, is an opportunity for us to ask you as a community, like,
do you really care if we stop?
Yeah.
Will you be mad at us?
And can you write in? And if we get enough adoring emails, honestly, that's enough glory to keep us going for at least a couple more months.
We just need to get paid in compliments.
Honestly, that's true.
It just really is a lot of work, and even though it's a work that I love, like it's also my goals are more involved in like stand up and TV and film and performing, and it just feels like if I could take all of the time that I'm doing this and put it into that, how much better would I be at that?
You'd be famous,
but
immediately.
I'd have a Netflix show already.
Immediately.
Yeah. So, but also who knows? Maybe if we didn't do this, I would just be like on TikTok for 6 hours today. Maybe I'm just saying that.
Yes and.
Yeah. Yes and.
You'd be
TikTok is research.
It's research. Yeah. It's a write-off. It's the important thing.
Right. Anything else to say on that? I don't know. I mean,
just like, something to say on that is just that, like, I love you and adore you.
I love and adore you too.
And
and obviously if we stopped the podcast, I would still come to you for Shabbos. Like,
I'll just show up on Sunday for 6 hours. Anyway.
We can just transform this into like a writing meeting. Ooh. Like we just write stand up or whatever we work on.
Oh my God. Yes. Because now I am writing a new Hot Rabbi rom-com that I think improves upon the current Hot Rabbi rom-com.
Which was amazing.
And which we need to discuss next.
Yes.
But yes, we'll figure it out. And Yenta listeners, please do, if you're listening to this, please do like send us your thoughts about this, because look,
DM me at Raye Schiller.
We
or Antonia.
really do want to hear your thoughts and value your opinions,
because
on
we're
this
losing it
a lot. We're kind of losing it. But the important thing is we love each other.
Yeah.
And that's the top of our contract. Is that,
it is. And also on that is like, we did speak about like doing this together for a year.
Yeah.
And then reevaluating.
And we're kind of at that.
We're almost at that.
We're
We're
not
a little
quite
bit
at
less.
that.
We made it like 9 months.
Right.
That's a lot. We are probably at like the top 5% of podcasts in terms of like how many episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like 99% of podcasts quit before 10.
This is true.
Yeah. So we're amazing.
We're top 5% of podcasts.
Yeah.
Period.
When next time they introduce me on stage, Raye has a top 5% podcast.
And we can
top 5 of what?
and look, you can still put it in your bio, and it still sounds impressive. Even if we stop the podcast, you still have the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually gonna Google that.
The percentage.
Yeah, like what percent?
Okay, good, because maybe it's top 1%.
You're so right.
You know,
Mm-hmm. I bet it could be.
it really
Just
could be.
the top 3, whatever. Yeah, it makes me sad to think about this not happening, but I want to, especially with the new year, Rosh Hashanah, just be
Topical.
more intentional about what I'm doing. The other option is have the podcast be less queer and Jewish and be more general.
Bring it back to your original goals of
Yeah.
getting out of the queer Jewish world.
Yeah. And just like schmoozing it up with more comedians that are different.
Yeah.
And hoping that leads, even if it doesn't lead to other like, and also could lead to a wider audience, right?
Yeah.
Because right now it's so niche, which I love.
We love you.
But yeah, that could be an alternative.
Yeah. I feel like then it would no longer really,
Doesn't align with your goals.
it kind of does, in that, like, yeah, I want to connect with the comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Could we do that pivot, and would our audience be on board with it? Or
Right.
would
we lose
would we lose everybody?
Yeah. It just goes to no one. We had 4,
Yeah.
and then we pivoted, and now we're at 0.
Yeah. Do we have to rebrand the podcast again?
Yeah. Well, did we rebrand it?
Well, we chose a new color
Huge
for the icon, and
Yeah.
that was really big.
I've seen way bigger rebrands. That was nothing. Yeah, I guess something to think about. And listeners, let us know if you have any opinions.
Yeah.
We could.
But thanks for being here with us.
But thank you. And thanks for bearing with us while we figure out what we want to do.
On that note, can we transition to the Hot Rabbi show?
Yeah. Adam Brody, Kristen Bell.
Yep.
Hot.
The
first episode where he magically gets that cigarette.
Oh my God.
When he says, "Yeah, I'm a rabbi." And I just went, "Oh."
Wait, you like that? He did not get me there, but he got me later.
Well, I just was like, it was so ridiculous because, like, how did you magically get this cigarette?
Oh my God,
at
literally.
this perfect time. But yeah, I did love it.
Okay, where it got me, I took so many notes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you really did your homework.
Here's where it got me. The moment when they kiss for the first time, and he goes, "Put down your ice cream."
Amazing scene.
Incredible writing. I thought the writing in the first episode was a nightmare.
It was. It really was.
So embarrassed.
The writing was really. Yeah.
It was terrible.
But if you ever want to work with us writers, we would love to be hired.
We'd love to work with you. We're huge fans.
It was really. It wasn't. It was meant to be like rom-com style writing. So I feel like it was almost meant to be bad.
Yeah. They were
like
riffing
that's the tone
on a
they were going
basic
to.
formula.
Yes. Yeah.
And sorry, I just burped right into the mic. Okay, here's some of my notes. There's a scene where she hails an Uber. Like, taxi, and then a car with Uber
comes up.
I was like, that's
stupid.
Incredible dramaturgy.
Yeah.
His temple is Temple Sinai. Did you recognize the interior?
I've never been.
I recognize it because Yenta listener, if you look on my website, my press photos were taken at Temple Sinai.
That's so funny.
Not from a show I did there, but because I needed press photos before the Hey Alma article, and I called up Temple Sinai and was like, because I have a friend who works there, because they are going to book me eventually, and I took my press photos in their sanctuary, which is the sanctuary he is.
That's so funny. They're just like a super famous.
They're just
sanctuary because of
for
you.
shoots. Yeah, because of me.
And then they just wanted to copy you.
They had such a good experience shooting content with me that they were like, Kristen Bell, you can have it.
Yeah, exactly.
His speech on Shabbos that references believing in God and is actually a pretty compelling like argument to believe in God, which is that like it's the like if you're not seeing God in your life, you should take another look because maybe those things, maybe you thinking you might need a new career change is God.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's very compelling and would never happen in a Reform synagogue. That a rabbi would say anything that compelling about God.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was interesting because he was like, and I was having this conversation because he was like, he was kind of Reform, but also kind of like more religious too. Like it felt like he was more conservadox because there was one point where he like wasn't using his phone on Shabbat.
Oh, I missed that detail.
Oh, maybe you're not there yet.
Yeah,
maybe
I meant like
later.
episode 6.
Yeah. There was one scene where like later they weren't using their phones on Shabbat, and then whatever. I don't want to spoil it.
But he does get in a car on Shabbat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this weird level. I don't know how observant he is.
He says he keeps kosher enough that he knows that his popcorn or something is kosher, but
right, the booties.
Yeah, but also it seems like they're just eating ice cream from any old place.
Yeah. Not a kosher place. Not Max and Minna's.
Yeah, they were
Main Street.
They were not in Pico.
No, not in Pico. Not Munchies.
No.
Yeah.
I also just think that it's not a Jewish project unless Tova Feldsche
is in it.
Yeah. As the
and
mother.
She's an annoying mother, overbearing. Wait, I don't want to ruin it for you. Did you get into the scene where they meet yet?
Where they meet,
where Kristen Bell meets Tova Feldsche like officially at a dinner? No, you must have not have gotten
maybe.
It. Whatever. There's a scene where she like eats prosciutto.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
And I was like, that's insane. Whatever.
Where
and then
Tova eats prosciutto?
Tova eats prosciutto.
Of course.
Kristen Bell brings over a cheese plate to the dinner
with prosciutto
on it and doesn't know that it's pork or doesn't know that it's pig. She's like, I thought it was beef. And then they throw out the cheese plate, and then they get into this big fight at dinner, and then she finds and the mom leaves, and then she finds her eating prosciutto. She finds her eating the cheese plate out of the garbage because she's like,
it was so good.
It was so good. And then she uses it to like blackmail. Whatever. She thinks she's going to use it to blackmail her. And then she actually, and that's how they connect. Whatever. That scene pissed me off. That was the most unrealistic part, not the hot rabbi.
Everything about Tova Feldsche's family is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me these are Soviet immigrants.
Right.
First of all, their accent is way too good.
So bad.
Oh, her accent is an embarrassing Russian accent, but also like they just simply wouldn't be speaking English of the quality that they're speaking it.
Right.
And you're telling me they don't speak Russian at home at all?
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing Soviet about the house.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then also don't talk about how they happen to just be like super rich Jews.
Yes, super rich.
Like it's just kind of there that they like have a ton of money, but they just never bring it up.
Yeah. What's going on? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. I know that everyone's like
real estate Jews.
The way they're portraying Jewish women is terrible. Like,
yeah.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah,
the only Jewish women in that show are obnoxious, annoying, and that's just accurate.
And that's it. And also, honestly, everyone on that show is kind of obnoxious.
That's true. But
Kristen Bell's obnoxious. Her sister's obnoxious.
That's true.
Adam Brody is only passable because he's doing sort of a riff on like paternalism.
What do you mean?
Like all of his like sexiness is coming from like, I'll take care of you, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
but also not really. Like, yes, the ice cream scene where he puts down the ice cream.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed some of the writing like that. Like when she's like, yeah, he takes control. Like,
yeah,
that was sweet.
I thought that was well written.
Some of the sweet moments, like when she sees that he like Googled that he sees that she like looked up her ex. Like just like a small detail like that that's so real that I've never seen on a screen.
I agree with you on that. And I also kind of take back my criticism of Adam Brody's character much, but I do think there are a couple sort of
I think he was the only not obnoxious
moments.
character. Maybe just all the women were obnoxious. Oh, and the brother.
Yes. Yeah, the brother.
Yeah, I love him. I actually really liked him.
Yeah, there's a weird vibe with all the women on that show. Here are other things that I wrote down.
Yeah.
The writer, Aaron Foster, is the child of David Foster.
I know. I did so much Googling on this. Wait,
you did?
I don't know who David Foster is.
Oh, my
but
God.
I know that he was married to Yolanda Hadid.
Yes, he was.
Yes, so she was at one point
The child of-
stepsisters.
I have that written right
with
here.
The Hadids.
With Bella and Gigi.
Gigi.
I know. And I think unless they're divorced, her current mother is Catherine McPhee.
I love that that's a 7-year-old with 40-year-old Catherine McPhee. And the crazy thing to me was the Gigi Hadid one. But yeah, that is such a good point. Her stepmom is younger than her.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
It's insane. Okay, what else did I like?
What a wild family.
Adam Brody his character is a good communicator. He keeps saying things out loud that people don't normally say out loud in rom-coms, and I'm like, good for you for saying that.
That's
when
such
he
a good
says,
point.
I don't want this to be a rebound. I was like, yes. When she's like making the video for her sister right after they had sex, and she's like, I just had sex with the rabbi, and he pokes in and he's like, yes, it was great. I was like, that's a good moment where they're being open, where they're like not trying to hide things.
Right.
You know,
what did you think of why was she FaceTiming her sister right after sex?
Yeah, I know. It's like, wow.
Is that a thing that happens?
To
me, that was so weird.
I have never done that, but I was kind of like, oh, I love how sex positive
I guess
this is. I wouldn't say it's common.
Right.
But I wouldn't say it's bad.
It must be real. Like, I feel like that's such a specific detail.
Yes.
And it is based on her life and her sister.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that must actually just be what they do.
It's got to be real.
Yeah.
Also, okay. The episode on the ick.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to say with the good communicating.
Yes.
Where she was like having she's basically like spiraling almost. Like having these huge catastrophizing moments about him. And he was like, listen, I know you're feeling this way, but yeah, I love that scene.
But you like me.
Yeah.
Don't you like me?
Yeah.
You know you like me.
Well, the way you're saying it now feels like pressury.
No, yeah.
But
it was good. It was really well done. I wrote that down as good communication.
Well, yeah. I was actually watching this with Jacob, and I was like, she got the ick. Like as that was happening.
Yes.
And I was like, you just have to move through the ick. And Jacob was like, are you speaking to yourself? And like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I have been thinking all morning now about the concept of the ick.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've watched a lot of single friends around me get the ick and bail.
Right.
And from the outside perspective, everything that I've heard they got the ick about, I'm always like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, when someone tells you what they've gotten the ick about, from an outside perspective, it's always like,
it's not that big of a deal.
It's
Move
not
on.
that big of a deal.
Do you have an example?
Well, iconic Yenta example, Ellery and the bright blue
Hummer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
On the show, it's that he's like,
he has a blazer
and basketball shorts.
Yeah. And he's trying too hard to impress her parents.
Yeah. And
calm down.
Come on. And he's being kind of like dweeby and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking about how all of those things, like a long-term relationship is literally about getting someone to show you all of their most embarrassing parts.
Right. And
then
still loving them.
And then agreeing to do all of those embarrassing things for the majority of the time you spend together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stay at sexy and mysterious.
Right.
It can be sexy and embarrassing. Like, the sexiness doesn't have to hinge on the mystery. But I was just like, this is good. This is a good model.
It really is.
For
young people.
For young people who are
women.
Who are breaking up with people because of this mythical ick.
Right.
I also think calling it the ick,
Not
and they say it on the show. Her sister's like, she's like, the ick can never be moved past. Like, once you have the ick, it's over.
Yeah.
That is a story that's very popular. But once you believe that story, then as soon as you get the ick,
you have
you're
to
like,
dump them.
well, I have to leave. There's no
Right.
choice. And that's a bummer. That's not something I would recommend. What was your experience? Because I'm 11 years out from
Right.
experiencing the first ick and being like, whatever.
Yeah.
But you date so many people, and I
Right.
feel like you have gotten the ick and
Sure.
then bailed.
Okay. Calling out. Calling me in.
Calling in.
I guess you're right. I have gotten the ick and bailed. But I think they were over real things. They weren't over like silly things like the color of your car or I don't know.
Ellery.
Yeah. Or like their style or whatever. But well, whatever. I don't know.
Also, there's a difference between, I hate calling it the ick as if that's a thing I like truly believe exists.
Right.
But there's a difference in getting the ick when you're a couple weeks into dating someone and being like, I'm not into this person. And after you've like kind of fallen in love with them.
Right.
And then getting the ick.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think that's the ick.
girl
I think
who
you
helped you move in here.
There is something about moving, about, like realizing that the person that you're seeing isn't this hot, mysterious person, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And moving and just being like, oh, they're a full human and there's like some weird, gross things about them. And then just moving through that.
Yes. And figuring out how to find them sexy.
Yeah.
While also seeing them as like their full, gross, embarrassing self.
Nerdy, weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Isn't everyone's dream to be the weird, the like most embarrassing version of themselves in a safe place?
Yeah.
That's
so
my
nice.
dream, is to just be like all of it.
And I think you do a really
and
good
be
job
loved for it.
Like curating a space around you of people like that, which is why I felt really drawn to you, especially in this town where it feels like a lot of, there's so much fakeness.
Yeah.
And like trying to appear a certain way for status.
And like that Shabbos dinner was just, this week was just a bucket of weirdos. Maybe just embrace the weird. Embrace the weird.
Embrace the weird.